Hello. Okay, mic check. Mic is looking good. And okay. Think we're all looking good to go. Hopefully everyone is doing good today. It is open reviews, so if you would like me to look at your game and give you a game review, I just need a link to your game or the OGS ID, which is at the end of the OGS URL. And anyone can get a review. Yeah, hopefully everyone is doing well today. And we had a few people streaming. I wasn't sure what was happening on this one. Park Jawan versus Byun Sangil. Anyone know what this event is? I can't read. I can't read French. French. Yeah, I don't know what this event is. Maybe does anyone know what it is? On SPS. Maybe it's just a regular game review. Maybe he's just doing a regular game review. It looks nice. Yeah. Anyone have a game they would like me to look over? No, this one has been played recently, but it was the 26th, so like 4 days ago. Just want to look at this one while we're waiting. Paige did review it already. Thought I posted the link to this one. Oh, did I post in the wrong one?
All right, this is Dragon League.
Rogue Zenith against Kite. Yeah, that was right. Thought I had a game review between Aspen and G Dollar. I wonder if I just don't have the video link yet. Welcome, new people. It is open review, so if you would like me to take a look at your game, I can do so. Say hi, cat. Since you just want to be in my lap. Okay, both of them are doing star points. It's all the rage these days. I actually think star points are not as good for Q players. Fun fact, hot take. Hello, Baloo. Okay. Interesting. This feels like a mistake. I'm actually curious if this is a mistake or not. Oh, they don't have the they're not premium. I hate that I can't turn on AI for other people's games, even though I'm premium. I have to download it and re-upload it. Yeah, full AI review. Yeah, the fact that I have to download and re-upload. Are you comfy, cat? Just being in my lap and trying to stab me with your claws? Okay, so it is the move. And if white does this, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Crazy sequence. I wonder if it's some sort of trick move. This has to be a mistake, right? -2.5. I was thinking connect, but this also makes sense. But the fact that white can just cut it off and go here feels good for white. Yeah, this result feels good for white. We can even count 2, 4, 6, 8 for black. And then white gets 2-ish, we'll say 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And this was black's corner. So already I think white is ahead by maybe 5 points. Looks like 3.4. Yeah, I already think white's ahead by a little bit. Okay. How many of you know that this is a move now, but there's a punishment if you make a mistake? Like, you can play this if you want, maybe even here. If you want the influence, you can play this way. But if they descend, you have to connect. Otherwise, you get tricked and you die. That would not be good. Okay. I really hate this Joseki choice for black. I want a base for these stones. So I want like right here. Maybe high. Or pincer, like this. I want to support these 4 stones. The fact that white gets to settle while taking black space here, I think this is good for white. I guess black doesn't care about these 5 stones. Black can always live right here, I guess. So that's fine on some level. Connect. Yes, I can. I review that now. I was just looking at my brother's game while I was waiting for someone to join the queue. Okay, are you white or black? White or black? Which one are you? You are black. Okay, okay. Make a base, good. Okay. Watch your cutting points. Usually when you get touched, you stretch. So you could go like right here. If you play like this, you immediately have a crosscut. Hello, Art of Dying. Welcome, welcome. So I think just stretch right here and then make a base. Connections are your friend. Connections are your friend. If you're getting attacked, it's probably because you're not playing connections. Here you want Tiger's Mouth. If you go here and I cut you, you cannot capture me. There's no way to capture me. So if you go Tiger's Mouth, you cannot be cut. That's going to be like the first thing you have to really master is making sure your stuff is connected. The top side is where you want to be because the top side has nothing between the starting stones and every other side has something between the starting stones. Okay, so there's 2 right here. There's 2 right here. There's 2 right here. The top side is the only opening move left. So probably just something like this, I think is fine. But this is really flat. And that is because you have so many stones on the 3rd line. If you have support, you want to develop. And what I mean by that is, if this is a black stone, you want to develop. If it's a white stone, then you want to settle. Right? So you develop if it's your stones. And that would be 4th line. Okay, this is a big move. Very nice. So white needs a base, and white's base is going to be here. If white tries to make a base here, they have to slide to the 2nd line. So if I was white, I would want to play right here. That's the move that I want. So as black, you should take that away. You might even just go right here. And this is because the 2-space jump wants to follow up with a 1-space jump, because a 2-space into a 2-space has the cross cut right here. So if you do a 2-space into a 2-space, it attacks a stone, but it does leave a weakness. So maybe just 2-space into 1-space. But the entire point is we're stopping white from making a comfortable base. So they might slide into the corner, but it's pretty okay. I think it's fine. But here, you're actually forcing white to make a base where they wanted to make it. So this is a little passive. Thank you for the follow, Balu. Welcome, welcome.
0006 just followed.
Jump or diagonal. You want to support your weak group while getting around their weak group. Okay, you want to go around their weak group. You do not want to go under their weak group unless they can live immediately. So this is kind of the way you want this to play out. Something like this, where you're getting strong and they're still struggling for life. If you go this way, what if I start running away? What if I just play a little bit lighter? It's always a possibility.
I just followed.
Why, yeah. Reminds me of like the Yahahas from Tears of the Kingdom. Yahaha. Why, yeah. Okay, there we go. This one you pincered well. Very good, very good. Connect your cuts, very good. All right, and then we just keep surrounding. I think it's fine, but I think right now, if we compare the eye shape of this versus this, I think this one is just a little bit bigger than this one. Okay, so that means you should attack the right before you attack the left. And capping moves are the way you can do that, where you're just 1-space away on the head. If they tried to cut the elephant, which is a diagonal 1-space jump, then the response is a knight's move. Okay, so again, cap, cut, knight. Cap, cut, knight. Cap, cut, knight. Cap, cut, knight. That would be the way to surround this group. Okay, shoulder hit is perfectly fine. A cap also works, but I think the shoulder hit might be better in this case. Here, block your eye space. You need this to be alive. If you're not alive, then your opponent might counterattack you. And here. This is because when white cuts, you capture the cutting stones. Staying connected is very, very important. So if you can capture the cutting stones, it is very nice. Okay, looks like you did. Very nice. And your opponent's still cut off. So it's really nice for you. Really, really nice. You can be a little bit looser here. Sometimes the tightest surround is not the best surround. You could also go like right here. A lot of the times the looser surround is a little bit more efficient, because when you're touching a lot, you have less liberties. And because you have less liberties, your opponent get a little bit more forcing moves. So sometimes it is better to not be touching. This doesn't quite work, unfortunately. Yeah. Capturing the cutting stone is good. But instead of that, what if we jump? Because I want A and B to stay separated. If white has two weak groups, it's good for me. If you do this, white connects. So it's a little unfortunate. But not the end of the world. Still good for you. Okay. Your opponent ignored. Capping's definitely powerful here. I am curious if you considered the follow-up, because you said, I'm going to take your base, and they said, I don't care. So you should say, hey, I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to follow through with my threat and prove to you that you should have responded. Otherwise, maybe your move wasn't Sente in the first place. So this is a little bit interesting. Now, with that being said, attacking this stone is also very powerful, so it's hard to say which attack is better. So I think as long as you do something. This one is very bad. Just jump. The reason it is very bad is because this shape is a textbook broken shape. You do not want to give your opponent a way to cut you perfectly. Responding to your opponent will hold you back probably several ranks, especially since half of the moves your opponent does is probably Gote. Maybe like you won't be able to figure out whichever, like every single one that's Gote, but just finding a few can rank you up like 2 or 3 ranks. Just finding like 5 moves a game, 5 out of 100 moves that you play, can improve you like a couple ranks. So like this one you ignored, it's very nice, but you actually could have ignored this one too, but it's fine. This one threatens a cut, so I like it. I think it's fine. And you still get Sente, so a lot of the times keeping Sente means it's okay to play. But yeah, here is very bad shape. Definitely want the jump. And also you're surrounding. Follow up. White has to run now. And we're kind of double surrounding. Connect if you're going to connect. If you want defense, defend with the least amount of moves possible. Efficiency is not about distance or speed. Efficiency is about the least amount of moves to do the job. So if you want to keep attacking, but you have an issue, fix that issue in one move so you can keep up the attack. That's usually pretty effective. Careful with your knight's moves. Did you have cutting points? Here, definitely just connect. There's no reason not to. I think you underestimate the cutting points. Like here and here, you underestimate these cutting points. Not having cutting points makes the attack so much easier for you. Uh-oh, capture race. We are in a capture race. Dangerous. Dangerous. This just straight up doesn't work because they can Atari and then go down. But okay, let's see how this goes. You're not going to gain liberties on the first line, so don't go for the first line. I think go here, here, and make life. And if white goes here first, you have to connect, and white connects out, then you can just cut. If white connects, then you can go here. They'll probably do that. You can go here. Try your best to make life, and see what happens. Yeah, I think you should lose it, but we'll see how it goes. You gave it 3 stones. Oh, this is so big. Because it's cutting off 2 white groups. And white still has to cut you. And now if you go back and attack them... Oh, that is gambling though. Because we can't read this at 14Q. Oh, okay, it's probably too much. Probably too much. I think the big issue is you let yourself get cut. If you weren't cut, all of this would have been in your favor. If you were just connected and not cuttable, then this entire fight, you would have no issues. Okay. This one is not going to do anything. There's no follow-up. So this is Gote for white, which is fine because white had to do it. So you should take this opportunity to take Sente again. So in that case, you could go here and surround this right side. All of this is unnecessary. Are you trying to kill? I don't know what you're doing, but you're wasting a bunch of moves. That was cute. Okay. Yeah, you're wasting a bunch of moves. Just fix whatever you're going to fix and go attack. Notice how many moves you're playing up top when the fight was already done. Okay, surrounding is good. Surrounding is very nice. Sure, defense first. And follow through with your surround. Make them show you the eyes. Make them show you the eyes. I don't know where they are, but make them show you. Even if you can't kill it, that's fine. Just make them show you where the eyes are. Maybe here. Yeah, make them show you where the eyes are. Like, hey, I don't believe that you're alive. Can you show me? Like, I'm willing to take your word for it, but just show me. And then you can move on. This is a little bit silly. It looks like you didn't know what to do. So you just played a stone on the two space. So here, the open section is this size. If it's that size and there's no weak groups... Oh, there is a weak group on the left. Because it only has one eye. So keep attacking. But if there's no weak groups and the center is only like a small square, then just start endgame. Push the border, push the border, push the border, push the border, push the border. Push the border. Push the border. Just start endgame. No need to worry about going in there. You have points too. It's okay. It's not like it's a game-losing side or anything. Hey, there we go. Start from the outside, though. That way you don't lose points if it lives. If this lives, you're losing points everywhere. Yeah, you tried to kill when it wasn't ready to be killed. If you try to kill and it ends up living, you lose points. If you threaten the eye space and it ends up living, you don't lose any points. That is the difference. If white lives here, I didn't lose anything. But if I go here and white lives, I've lost points. So don't attack in a way that loses you points. It's too risky. I don't know what you're doing here. Don't know what you're doing. Spending a lot of moves. Okay, now we're back to over here. Okay, good, good. But you spent a lot of moves when the fight was done again. You can go here. If your opponent tries to escape, you can just cut.
Watterson just followed.
Or cut right here. Thank you for the follow, Watterson. Maybe think of Watson from like Sherlock Holmes. Thank you for the follow, Watson. But Watterson. Okay, nice. Good question mark? You're staying alive, that's fine. Staying alive is good. This one was Gote though, because A and B are Miai, which means if white cuts you at A, you can connect at B. If white cuts you at B, you can connect at A. So you're actually already alive. So just go play endgame. So that would be one of your 5 Tanuki timings. What are you doing? Okay, I think you have a little bit of Killa tunnel vision. A little bit of Killa vision. If it's alive, you can't kill it. So don't overplay and lose points trying to kill something. Usually letting them live is more profitable. Because if you get points and they get nothing because they have to make 2 eyes, then you're happy because you've made a positive exchange rate. But if you go for the kill and then they live and you've lost 5 points, that entire attack was a negative exchange rate. So now you've lost points instead of gaining points. So it'd be better if you just let them live and gain points versus trying to kill them, especially when it's clearly alive. Because what the fudge? What? Don't let your opponents fool you into thinking that your attack is a good attack when it's alive, because they're supposed to live. They're supposed to live and not Tanuki. And then you've lost points. But your opponents are teaching you bad things. Oh, that is crazy. Just connect. Just connect, they connect, you surround. Oh my gosh, how did they Tanuki that? I don't understand why they would Tanuki this. Like, what on earth is the plan? Like, this is not even endgame. I have no idea what the plan is. Don't let them out. Don't let them out. Good, good, good. Don't die. Don't miss an Atari. I've seen missing Ataris too many times. And the game's over? What? Black plus resignation. Okay, so white played and then resigned. Okay. Okay. You won with the very thing I am telling you not to do. Don't try to kill groups that are alive. Your opponent's supposed to live. It's not a good attacking strategy. This should not have worked. But notice how, if white had played correctly, you attacked, you lost points. You attacked here, you lost points. You attacked here, and you gained influence on the outside, but it's canceled out. And then you attacked right here and lost points. So you keep losing points with your attacks. Instead, just threaten to attack it. Like the right side is a lot more obvious, right? Here you attacked from the inside of the group. You need to attack from the outside of the group. Notice how I'm not losing anything with each of these moves. I'm not losing anything. And then when I'm confident I can kill, maybe I'll actually take some risk. But even here, I haven't lost anything. I have still yet to lose anything. I haven't lost a single stone. And if it dies, great. If it lives, I don't care. Because if it lives, let's assume it makes life somehow. If it lives, I don't care. Because I've lost nothing and I still have the initiative. So try not to go for the kill until it's 100% dead. If you can't solve the entire problem, don't try to kill it. You're trying to kill it way too soon. The top side, you were actually attacking quite well. Just watch your cutting points. If you stay connected with your attack, you're attacking with the strong group. But if you attack with cutting points, your opponent's going to try to use those cutting points to make life. Like white did in this game. Go problem recommendation is going to be capture race and life and death. I'll go ahead and shout out my website since I'm building it. SemegoDragon.com is a great place to do Go problems. It is a premium service, though, for unlimited problems. Semego Hero is free, but it does not categorize the problems. 101 Wei Qi is in Chinese, but there's plugins for it on Chrome and Firefox that will translate it in English, but it is also a premium Go problem library set. But if you like it, you can also do that there. They also have them categorized as well. And I would recommend capture race, like maybe 50 capture race, and then maybe 50 taking eyes. because these are the two things that you made mistakes in this game. Yeah, anyone can ask for a review. So no one's up next, so if you just post the game link, I can go ahead and look at your game. Yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. Okay, so
Welcome home, 1, 2, 3,
there
4,
is
5,
times
just
where
follow.
poking the eye is good, and that is when if they play the tiger's mouth and they're immediately alive, then poke the eye and then go back to attacking from the outside. But notice how when you attacked from the inside, you poked the eye and then you kept adding to that stone. Don't add to it. Once it's one eye, attack from the outside. But sometimes you do have to poke out the eye, and that's fine, but you only need to spend like one move to do it. But if you don't have to, don't. Like, only do it if you have to. It's one of those things you only want to do it if you have to. Your OGS username is missing a ya. You have 3 yas, and this is only 2 yas. Hi, Gandalf. What's wrong, kitty cat? What's wrong? Come here. What's wrong? Why are you throwing a fit? You want to say hi? Oh, you want to get down? Okay, let's not get on top of the computer where you can hit the power button. Okay. Should you poke the eye out if your group attacking is already pretty much surrounded? If the group you're attacking is pretty much surrounded. Surrounding it is almost always the correct answer. Now, the only reason you would not surround it is if you're unsettling it so you can surround it. For example, if I'm going to surround the weak group, my opponent's going to make 2 eyes in 1 move. I'll make it 1 eye and then surround the weak group. And you said pretty much surrounded. It either is surrounded or it's not surrounded. That's a very important distinction. So if it's surrounded, it's now a life and death problem. And in life and death problems, you reduce from the outside, look for the vital point. But you surround it and turn it into a life and death problem first. That is also true. Like, there is no absolute and go. But I would say the majority of the time surrounding it should be the answer. Playing the Vita Point only really matters if it's about to live in 1 move or if you're going for the kill. And you shouldn't go for the kill until it's surrounded. Okay, you want to develop. This is because you have a friend. When you have a friend, give me the pen. I'm clicking on the wrong button. When you have a friend, you want to develop. You want 4th line. 4th line is for development. 3rd line is for settling. You do not need to settle here because you have control over it. Okay, okay. You can try to find it, but don't copy pros. Pros, like if you have a game example, I can explain to you, but there's so many layers to it. So right now you're learning how to surround. A pro game could literally be, I'm taking out the eyes in order to chase because I want to surround in this way so it'll attack over here or it'll let me invade over here so that way the score will be even. Yeah, like pros have like 5-6 levels of thinking and all of that is reading and counting. So it's really difficult to understand like the layers that pros do. Pro games are really good for learning shapes. But for strategy, it's going to be really difficult. I think if you're a double-digit Q, copying pro moves is going to get you killed. Because you don't have the reading to back up the moves. Like, honestly, copying pro moves probably should not even be done until 5Q. Take on the Chinese opening, not very popular anymore, but it's a valid opening. Like, I don't think it's even 1 point difference. It's 0.1 point worse. It's a valid opening. People just like copying the pros or copying AIs. Influence or territory, that's style choice. Influence or territory is completely stylistic. Just be consistent with your style choice. Don't go for territory and then try to get influence. And don't go for influence and then try to get territory. Be consistent. Like, I see a lot of people play Star Point and then they try to get the corner. Like, it's not consistent. The fourth line wants to develop. Ah, this one is actually here. It's a little tricky, but basically when they Atari right here and fix, you can go one line further because thanks to number 1, you cannot be cut because it's a tiger's mouth. Versus in the game, when you slide, here, you have to go one line shorter. It's a small little trick, but it gets you like 2 more points. Slide is usually better than push from behind. Here's a big thing. If you don't have to get surrounded, don't get surrounded. Not getting surrounded is really great because now white's influence only goes in one direction. But if you get surrounded, like what white is supposed to do is play right here. And then you have to make life. If you get surrounded, white has both directions. If you want my advice for what you should learn from pro games as an amateur, go to gokifo.com, archive, and let's go to what is this? 9, 10. Oh, that's the month. I wanted before 2000. I want like the 1900s. 1900s are really good games to review. Japanese players from the 1900s, maybe like 1900s, 1950s, are really good to review. I guess 2000 is the earliest you can do, but yeah, the older the better for strong shape. Because back then, oh, you're white. Sorry, I'm sorry. I completely forgot what color I was reviewing for. E2 a bad move? No, E2 is necessary. Oh, this one, you mean E2. No, just depends on the direction. This says you want the bottom. This says you want the left. It depends on what you want to play. Probably this would be easier for you because working with your own position is usually easier. And you should definitely surround this corner. Definitely surround the corner. Chinese opening is to play here technically, but I think this is perfectly fine for this level. The big thing here though, this is getting out of hand. If you don't do something now, it's going to quickly run out of control. So the bigger this gets, the harder it'll be to invade. And you're getting something too, which is nice, but because yours is wider, it's also more invadable. So it's kind of a, I guess a style, but I don't like it. It's too easy to invade white and pretty difficult to invade black because of how tight it is. I think it's just a hard game to play. So I think right here, I would just go in. You can technically block, because if they cut, you just cut them back. But okay. Connections are cool. You were talking about this game. Oh, dadgummit. Okay, and at move 125 on J2. So black is completely surrounded. So this is a life and death problem. So notice how white is around this group on every single direction. So white is now going for the life and death problem. Also, should black connect right here, K1 is a connection to Suji to connect back to the N2 stones. And if white, if black blocks on this side, H2 will actually connect underneath at G1. So this stone actually has two ways to connect out. So this stone actually isn't even taking, it's taking the eyes, but it actually has two ways to connect out. I can't really show you very well, but if black connects and white plays H2, white can connect under. If black blocks at H2, then technically white can play K1 to connect. It's a monkey jump connection. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but it's a monkey jump connection. So yeah, this isn't even cuttable. You can't even capture this stone. Okay, this is getting out of hand. It's getting dangerous. Okay, that's fine. Good, good. Unsettle is nice. Connection, perfect. Perfect. Over here is perfect. Oh no! Just keep them cut. Keep them cut. Everything of blacks is dying. Everything of blacks is dying. Black is the one who has to figure out all the issues. Here, this is what's called capturing the tail of... Oh my gosh. Never mind. This is called capturing the tail of the dragon. Instead of attacking the whole dragon, you just attack the tail of the dragon. The dragon can cut off its own tail and come around and bite you. So don't only attack the tail of the dragon. You have to attack the entire thing. And that is what this move does. But your opponent saved it anyway. Don't over Tsuji. You're winning the fight. Don't force Tsujis when you don't need them. Okay. Yeah. It's good reading. You read really, really well here. Okay, so your reading was really good here. But the concept of attacking the entire group, I think, is what you missed. Because now black has two panukis, or two circle-looking things inside of your framework, so it's going to be a lot easier for black to live. But overall, like, you did really well. Yeah, overall, you did really, really well here. The only thing I don't like about this game so far is that you haven't done anything about this. Is D8 a problem for white? D8. No, because you fixed it right here. Before, yes, it was. Like, I would try to utilize this as black, but black also has weaknesses. The best way to not suck at invading is to invade sooner. The thing is, a lot of the times, the reason invading is so hard is because you're doing it so late. Right? The sooner you invade, the easier it is. But if you're like, oh, that's a scary invasion, and you avoid it, then it becomes a much bigger problem, and all of a sudden, you have to play this really difficult invasion with all these stones around you because you avoided the problem instead of just tackling it head on. So the more you fear the invasion, the harder it is to invade. So the sooner you do it, the better. The easier it'll be. Your attacking over here is great. So I would definitely say your attacking is one of your strong points. Which means in the opening, I would have picked this Joseki. Because if you're really good at attacking, then make a position to attack something with. Having a star point with an extension means they will have to invade you, and you get to attack them. So I would pick like framework positions, positions where you're the attacker. But if your opponent has the framework, you just got to go in and deal with it. Yeah, just go in and deal with it. Invade early, invade often. Yeah, exactly. Okay. No, that's exactly what I mentioned in the last game. Don't do this so early. It's not surrounded yet. This also is not a false eye. Okay, it technically is, but it's not worth it. Actually, I think just here is better. Here, 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 here. Maybe it is. What if I jump first then? Anyway, like, this is not a good way to attack. Just surround the group. Just surround the whole group. You could also just go, literally just go here, and you're already profiting. Like, this is already, what, 5-10 points? And black's still not alive, so black has to run. And you go here. Black has to run. Yada, 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 yada. Black makes life, right? Not a huge deal. Yes, there's still this, but let's assume there's not. This is not a huge deal. You've gotten all the profit, and you still get to play elsewhere first. So don't stress about killing. Killing is... let them die. If you try to kill it, it's going to live. So let them die. They'll die on their own. Just trust the moves. They'll play the wrong moves on their own. Hello, Arsa. Welcome, welcome. Arsa-chan. This is the way to make it a false eye. You have to get the corners of the eye to make it a false eye. This is a real eye. So you actually turned a false eye into a real eye by trying to take away the eye. I am reviewing games right now. So if you have a game you would like me to look at, I can do so. Yeah, you're so obsessed with taking the eyes that you're not surrounding, and surrounding is more important. You're gonna die. There we go. You had to fix that cutting point, yeah. And now you're still not going in the bottom right. Hello, Will. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so I would say the start of your attack was perfect. This up here, you got tunnel visioned on making the eyes false, and you let the group escape. That's usually not good. Surrounding is better. And you're avoiding the invasion. You can't avoid the invasion. And also attack the whole group, not just the tail. I would say these are the big points in this game. That's the big lessons in this game. So you just never went in there. You just played in-game. What? Okay. That's funny. So you got in not from that, but from in-game. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is where you can start looking at the life and death shapes. Notice how it's completely surrounded. Okay, completely surrounded. Now here, you took the eye, but take it from here. If you play here and black blocks, now you can look for the vital point, right? You have the initiative. But if you play here and black blocks, you have a cutting point you have to fix, and now black has the initiative to go for the vital point. So you take the eye with a Nobi, not a Hane. This would be a life and death problem. So the way I would approach it is reduce, 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 reduce. It is box 4 or actually, we have to take this vital point. This is looking dead. Okay, so now we're going to try to counter it as black. Let's see. Where was the vital point? At 7. So if they play here, I play here. Dies, okay. So I have to block. They play here, I play here. Dies, okay. So I have to go. They play here, I play here. Hey, look, I'm alive. Okay, so white tries to play the vital point first. They expand, reduce, vital point. It's alive, so play the vital point first. Then they do that. Yeah, it's just the process, but I start from the outside, and then I look for the vital points. And the vital points are typically the tiger's mouths, the 1-point jumps, and the diagonals. Yes. Yes.
Our second 123 just followed.
Thank you for the follow, Arsachan. Thank you for the follow. Dromedaru. So these are the vital points, and I know this because that's where the tiger's mouths are. Tiger's mouth leads to eyes. So if I want to reduce, if I can take a tiger's mouth from the outside, let's do that first. Dune, 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 dune. Right, and then we can start looking at the vital point. This is side 6. Dun, dun. Yeah, it looks like a mutual life. Anyway, let them figure it out. You don't actually have to stress about it. Let them figure it out. Okay, this one I think is solvable, so that one's good. Very good. So notice how you waited until it was solvable before you started playing on the inside. Yeah, sure. So this is kind of what I mean. You attack it from the outside up until it's going to die, and then you kill it. But don't attack from the inside, because then if it lives, you lose points. Don't lose points with attacking. Okay. Hopefully you found that review helpful. Let's see ours. Okay. Latest one. All right. And quick shout outs to my lessons. If you are interested in me helping you come up with like a study plan or study routine, we're having multiple lessons, and I analyze more than just one game at a time, but I actually like get a good feel for like how you play overall, and assign you homework. You can do so by getting lessons. So if you're interested in that and you enjoy my teaching style, hopefully you'll check it out. Okay. Okay, you have open corners. It's good. You know how to approach. Very good. Capture the stone. No reason not to. Looks like you definitely are outplaying your opponent, but you're not following through with the captures. So immediately, I'm going to recommend 2 things for this level. And it's just stuff I've already created. The Classy Approach series, I spent a year recording this series, going from 25Q all the way up to 5Q. And I basically tried to pour everything that I know into this series. So this would be my very first starting point. Hi, Cat. Can I help you? Can I? Playful cat. So that would be my very first starting point. And I go over a lot of stuff. Now, beyond that, okay, I have to teach. Can I teach? I want to teach. I know you love getting pets, but I want to teach. Beyond that, I'm going to recommend... yeah, let me get to that question in just a second. Beyond that, I'm going to recommend sumegodragon.com because the beginner section is free. So yeah, I'm biased towards the site because I'm developing it, but the beginner section, the 20Q section, is all free. Need to use Firefox. For some reason, Opera doesn't like it. So the big thing I would do on Sumego Dragon, though, is go through the campaign. And the reason is the campaign is free for beginners because I made it to help 20Qs get out of 20Qs. Like, I donate that time. I donate that coding stuff. And just do the Goblin Camp. The Goblin Camp is completely free. And it goes through all of your basic shapes. And there's books where I try to explain the concepts. Now, some of this is below your level, but it's really good refresher. And then there's practice spots for you to play as well. So I think this is below your level, but it'll be a good refresher, and it's free. So there's no reason like not to do it. And the Classy Approach series will teach you strategy. So Sumego Dragon teaches you tactics. The Classy Approach series teaches you strategy, and both of those are free that I've created for all the 20Qs in the world. So the big thing here, the reason I point that out is because you are not capturing the stones. And I think it's very important to capture the stones that are cutting you off. Okay. Moving on. The thing is, can we be cut? If so, capture the stone. If not, do I have a base? Do I have foundation? And yes, you control this section here. You have foundation. So if you have foundation, and you are not cuttable, then you should move on. Either attack them or go play a big move. So I think moving on to your stone over here, because this is 1 versus 1, I would go ahead and make a base. Get my foundation. You don't need to respond. This group is fine. So I'd go ahead and get the foundation on the right. This is all about getting places first. If you don't have to respond, don't respond. Okay, you're definitely doing better with your opponent about getting your foundation, getting your base. You're doing quite well with that. Am I lagging? Am I behind? You guys can't see me doing the review right now, right? I'm not sure if you're requesting or just getting that in general, but I'm already doing it. Okay, cutting your opponent, I like it, but let's check and make sure that we are actually watching our own cuts. So I think before cutting, we should fix our cut and then cut. Okay, nice. Defense, then offense. If you attack their cutting point and they countercut you, it becomes a very difficult problem where it's kind of like flipping a coin on if you're going to die or not. So defense first. Fix your cut and then attack their cut. Okay, it's very nice. Push it to the edge. Perfect. Push it to the edge. Good. And capture the stones that are cutting you off. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. No need to keep playing. Just remove them and move on. Or just move on. You actually don't have to keep playing. You've already won the fight. So here, I think the big thing is you're not staying connected. If you play right here and black plays right here, black is going to cut you. And yeah, black loses those because black's mistake. But now your two stones in the center are lonely. They're cut off. So now you can be counterattacked somehow. And this is because you didn't watch your cutting points. Whenever there's touches, you got to watch your cutting points. Whenever something is touching something, watch the cutting points. That is the rule of thumb. So here, just connect, and you've won. You're pretty much winning the fight. Because no matter what black does, you just capture the stones. Okay. Very nice. I think this one you just outclassed your opponent. I don't see... I'm not able to see like your biggest weaknesses because this is the game where you just kind of crush them. So I would recommend games where it's more difficult for you. So that way you can see what you're struggling with. This one is like you're overwhelming black so much that it's hard to find your mistakes. Spank a base. Yeah, let's go. Let's find one that you lost. So 2 games ago, you lost. So what happened here? Ah, okay. So this is what we're going to want to look at, is why are you losing games? Okay, you made a base, perfectly fine. Made a base. Sure. Ah, this one. This is one of those rough lessons you got to learn. When they go under the star point, you have to block this way. Okay, this is way you can block your base, because as you probably learned, this attachment is cuttable. So this is one of the shapes that you have to learn by like just dying to it, and then you learn it. And because it's cuttable, there's not really anything you can do. Try to avoid this jump into another jump, this sort of L jump that has 2 cutting points. So black can go that way, and black can go that way. This sort of L double peeped blah, blah, blah has a lot of cutting points. Has a lot of cutting points. Very bad shape. So you can't really do it. Technically, these 2 stones, you just give them up because there's not really a way to save them. But understandable, it's difficult to see that. Cat is being a cat. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. Looks like you're trying to make this a false eye or something. What you need to do is you need to aim for 2 eyes because you are completely surrounded. So you want to try to get the 2 eyes. Here you have 2 cutting points. So a great way to fix 2 cuts at the same time is actually a tiger's mouth. Oh, no, it's a very bad shape. Don't copy AI stuff. AI can read literally 50 to 100 moves ahead perfectly. If you copy AI too closely, I just don't copy AI, in my opinion. I think you should never, ever, ever copy AI moves because there's like a million things to learn before AI stuff. Like even I struggle to copy AI moves. And I've been playing for 17 years. So I would say there's some fundamental ideas that you need to learn. The ideas being a knight's move has a cutting point, diagonal does not. A 1-point jump is a great way to run. A knight's move is not, but a dog's face, which is this triangle, is a good shape to run. Right? Stuff like this. Is it connected or not connected? Is it good for defense or is it good for offense? Right, so we have this, which is a Nobi, great for gaining liberties, but it's very slow. 1-point jump, great for moving out, and it has a good connection. 2-space jump, much faster, but its connection is looser, so it has a cutting point potentially. Knight's move usually has a cutting point, but you just, as long as you keep an eye on it. 1-point jump, yada yada. If there is a white stone, this is a Hane. Hanes have a cutting point. Whereas this is a turn does not have a cutting point. Just knowing that difference. Is it cuttable? Is it not cuttable? That'll help you a lot with figuring out your shapes. So here you have 2 cutting points. A way to fix 2 cutting points at the same time is to play a tiger's mouth because it fixes both at the same time. So this tiger's mouth is this sort of triangle shape. Tiger's mouth is really bad at fixing one cut, but really good at fixing two. Because if it's just one cut, a connection is better than a tiger's mouth. But if it's two cuts, a tiger's mouth fixes two things at once instead of one thing at once. Okay, so that's the difference of connection is better than tigers unless there's two cuts, in which case tigers is better. This is all about learning like shape fundamentals. And here you need to keep track of how many cutting points your dragon has. So a dragon is a string of stones. So if you have two cutting points already, then playing a Hane, which we know has a cutting point, gives us a third cutting point. 3 cutting points is asking to die. And now we can be double Atari'd. Oh, your opponent got you in a Tsuji, a tactic. This is a throw-in tactic. This looks like you're trying to kill. Don't go for the kill until it's completely surrounded. Don't try to kill things that are alive. I think use the links that I gave you. The Classy Approach series will teach you all about strategy, and the Go problems will teach you all about tactics. Tactics are like the touching stuff, the shape recognition. Strategy is like your overall plan, and use tactics to accomplish the strategy. And both of those are completely free, so I really think it'll help you out, especially the Classy Approach series. It is a little bit long. I apologize. I tried to put as much information into it as I could, and there's apparently a lot of things that I know, and the playlist is quite long. But I think just learn the 9x9, 13x13, and 19x19. It's 15 videos, and it'll pretty much give you all the strategy, and then you just drill some Go problems to master any shape you miss. For example, if you miss a cutting point, go do connection problems. If you missed cutting your opponent, go do cut problems. If you messed up a life and death problem, go do life and death problems. If you missed a ladder, go do a ladder, right? And you just drill whatever you might make a mistake on. I think I'll leave it at that. I think there's a lot of shape stuff that we learned. I don't try to remember everything that I said. As long as you remember 1 or 2 of the shapes that I mentioned, that's already enough, because you only need to learn 1 or 2 things from every single game. You don't need to learn everything, right? You don't need to learn everything. You don't need to remember everything. You need to learn 1 or 2 things from every single game. As long as you learn 1 or 2 things from every single game, all you have to do is just keep playing more games. You're not going to learn everything from 1 lecture or 1 game review. I am just sticking to 1 review per person because these are free and donated. But if you would like more reviews, then you can actually sign up for lessons. So those who are also interested, I do teach Go for a living. If you're interested in getting lessons and having me more in depth go through your games and come up with a strategy for you, then consider getting lessons, and I can go over I can learn a lot more about you and your weaknesses specifically. I'll probably do 1 more game review, and then we'll wrap it up. If you click the link, it shows you the lesson package bundles. So you can do 1 lesson at a time for a monthly rate, or you can just do a 2-pack for $70. 6-pack is $200. I believe that's about $30 a lesson, $33 a lesson. Or a 1-year pack. I do recommend buying the packs. I'm biased, of course, but the idea is like in 1 lesson, I'm only going to be able to give you so much. An ideal number of lessons is probably 5 or so, 4 to 5 lessons. That way we have I can't think of a good way to word it, but like a list of things that we've built up for you, rather than just here's your weaknesses and here's some homework. I want to do that multiple times. Also, if you do get packs, please separate them out. Don't try to just get a lesson and then play 2 games and then get another lesson. I think that's just going to be a waste of money on some level. Try to play like 10 to 20 games between lessons to practice what we talked about. That would be the most efficient way to use the lessons. Okay. I think more than just 1. If you can only afford 2, then that's fine. 1 or 2, that's fine. I still want to teach you, but I think an ideal number is 4 to 5 or more. and then try to play games in between each lesson. I think that's the most ideal way to do it. Yep, I'm going to do one more. So, yeah, which game? Which game? Is this a D&D character? Is this like your Dungeons & Dragons character? I don't know, it's the vibe that I got. It might just be some character that you just drew. I don't know. It doesn't look like an anime. It looks like a character. Oh, you're playing black. Well, about that. I don't have the game. It is. Cool. My wife is a big D&D junkie. Yeah, we have like well over $1,000 worth of D&D books. She is my D&D nerd. And I love her so much. She plays D&D like I play Go. I just have a sleeping cat in my lap. Alrighty. Okay, we are 19Q. Open corners, we're doing that. Approaches. Oh, you're black. Okay, your opponent does something weird, ignore it. Unless it attacks you, just ignore it. Okay, so we're gonna go play an approach. 3/3 is also fine. Expand your eye space, perfect. Cutting with a weak group is dangerous. I would prefer to just keep expanding my eye space. This is possible. It's very aggressive, right? And typically I teach non-aggression, but until like 5Q plus. I prefer like basics of shapes and stuff. There is the opposite style where you can be more aggressive, and I think it's perfectly fine as well, but it requires you to do lots of Go problems and be very, very good at reading. To me, it's hard for a lot of players to do that because it requires a lot of practice and time commitment, which a lot of people do not have. So in my opinion, I think just expand your eye space. But you can be aggressive, it's just more difficult. This is getting into like very, very reading heavy territory. Because these two stones are by themselves, they're cut off from their friends. But now you're playing a Hane, which has a cutting point right here to attack these two stones that are cut off from their friends. You're balancing 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 things at the same time. This is incredibly reading intensive. So if you're going to play this way, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're going to play this way, you need to be doing lots of Go problems. I cannot stress enough how much you need to be doing Go problems. If it was me and I was in this situation, there's actually a move that I would play, and it is right here. My reasoning for this is I can just push it to the edge, and I will capture the stones that are cutting me off. So it doesn't matter what white plays. I will capture the stones that are cutting me. In other words, I'm trying to connect. That's good. Good. How many games are you playing? Let's see, do ranked. Don't care about correspondence. Oh, you're playing a good number. Okay. Yeah, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. 32 games this month? Yeah, keep doing that. You're doing great. Doing great. Okay, very good. All right, brilliant. We captured the stones that were cutting us off. Now we are alive, and white has all the cutting points. That is exactly what we wanted. Okay, and you ignored one stone. Interesting, nice. Okay, we played a big move. We ignored our opponent. Sure, we are attacking, that's fine. Okay. I'm not sure what this move does. If you're trying to attack these 5 stones, take their base. Take their base, and then start surrounding them. Okay, so you take the base and then surround. Take the base, unsettle and surround, unsettle and surround. Okay, kick is fine, block is fine. If you want to pincer this tiger's mouth, the pincer of a tiger's mouth is actually right here. This is because in the future, you can make the eye a false eye if you need to. So it's the way to take the base while also taking the eye shape. And when they touch, you just nibby. It's fine. So this is the way to pincer this sort of tiger's mouth shape. Okay, it looks like you do well in the contact fights, but you're not attacking the unsettled groups. So both A and B do not have a base. So I want to see more surrounding ideas. Something to surround, something to threaten and surround. Some way of surrounding the groups that don't have a base. I think that would be good. Okay, so white's trying to make a base. You're surrounding here, that's very good. Okay, save your cutting stones, perfect. Okay, this is okay. Technically, you actually can keep going. And when they cut, you cut. And you're alive. But okay, I like that you're playing defense first, that's fine. Ladder. You're really good at the contact stuff. Connections are better unless you need eyes. Okay, there's a double peep right here. Also, there's a co-threat and a co-threat. All right, so connections are just better unless you need the eye shape. But yeah, I want to say you are really good at the contact fights. I think you just are not attacking the groups that don't have a base soon enough. Just slide under. Third line is fine. Okay. Okay, so I want to see more mistakes. What are some mistakes that we're making? Don't touch single stones. So here, the idea is you want to just surround it. Surround, unsettle, surround. You don't have to actually touch it to attack it. A lot of the times touching makes them stronger. So you want to think of this concept as attachments make both sides strong. Okay? So you don't want them to be strong if you're the attacker. But if you're in need of strength, then if you're the invader, sometimes attachments can be good. So you don't want to make them strong by attaching. Okay. Okay. As per usual, the contact reading is very accurate. I say as per usual, like I've known you for so long. Just the feeling that I get from this game is your contact reading is very good. Okay, again, I think you can just slide and it's fine. Okay, I think at this point, you're already up so much because the bottom side died that I would just invade a 3-3 and move on and just win the game. Like, you don't have to attack anything else. You just need to make sure that the bottom left is not full points. You could also attach if you're more comfortable with that. But I would just make sure that something in here can live. And if you live in there, you win. Yeah, the 8 Dawn can kill in a 3-3 invasion, I know. But can a 19Q kill that invasion? I don't think so. I think at 19Q, we can invade without having to have perfect reading. 8 Dawns can kill things, I'm well aware. I understand that you saw this. So just do nothing. That's the answer. As long as you don't do it, it doesn't exist. But okay. Your reading's really good. Oh, I smell a go problem. I smell a go problem. This is a go problem shape. That's Self-Atari for white. That's Self-Atari for white. So if white fixes this side, that's throw in, which leads to a snapback. Y fixes this side, it's the same thing. Cool, go problem. Fun, fun, fun. Go problems are fun. Yeah, I don't... Gotcha. Okay, then if you missed that, if I was your teacher, I would say, okay, that would be 50 snapback problems. Either Symmetric Dragon or 101 Wei Chi, whichever one you have access to. Yeah. So that would just be snapback problems as homework. This is the thing about people submitting games where they're like crushing their opponent, is it's hard to figure out what they're doing wrong because you're only seeing what they're doing right because they're winning. So a lot of the times losses are better to get reviewed. It's like, hey, I lost this, but I don't know why I lost. Or hey, I lost this because I died, but I don't know when I got weak. Can you explain, like, how did this group become weak in the first place? So I would say your contact fight is really good. Keep doing go problems. Keep doing what you're doing. I think that's really good. Yeah, I think the only thing I could say was you could have attacked a little bit sooner by taking the base. Yeah, I think just that should be perfectly fine. That and a go problem. Yeah, everything else, it looks like you did really well. To the point, I don't think you should be 19Q. Why are you 19Q? So you lost to a 22Q. You were up by 43. Okay, so you messed up a go problem. So yeah, just keep doing go problems. What is it on about? Ah, life and death. Got it. Yeah, this one is you're not playing on the group that needs to live, but also you had to live over there first. So it looks like you were late to playing defense on this group. So yeah, I think groups without a base is what you're struggling with. When the fighting is contacting, you're really good at the reading, but you're not so good at the abstract attack and defense, which is where there's no contact. We're just making a base, we're taking a base, we're playing capping moves to surround on a large scale. I think that's probably what you struggle with, and that's probably because you're not playing people stronger than yourself as often. So you need a balance. Probably 1 in every 10 games should be against someone stronger than you, like by at least 5 ranks. 1 in every 10. So uncheck that. Correspondence doesn't count. Correspondence is fun, but it does not help you improve. Yeah, join the Discord. Ask for a teaching game once a week against someone. My advice is snapback go problems and play single digit Q or Dawn player once a week. That is my classy homework. I think that's right now you're doing everything you need to be doing. So here's a little bit more like cherry on top of study. Just keep doing what you're doing, and there's a cherry on top. I think you're doing pretty well, though. You see, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. Just keep doing it. It's just a matter of time. Keep doing what you're doing. Play lots of games. Do go problems. Play rated games. Play your 2Q, single digit Q friends. And then it's just a matter of time. Have you only been playing for a month? Because I know your account is only a month old. If you've only been playing for a month, then you're doing quite well. Yeah, I think just practice at this point. I will go ahead and shout out to my lessons. This is for everyone. If you enjoy my teaching style and are interested in having me go over your games in more detail, and also recommending homework and a study routine for you, consider checking it out. I do teach Go for a living, so I have 17 years experience teaching, and I also am the creator of Sumego Dragon, which is a Go problem website. And I am well known for my Classy approach, which is a completely free 50-hour course for 25Q to 5Q, 25 to 5Q in 50 hours. Way too long, but I tried to pour everything that I knew into that playlist. So if you want strategy, that is completely free, full of a bunch of cool stuff. It's just a matter of watching it and practicing. I recommend playing 5 rated games between each video. I think that would be a good study routine. Well, yeah, only 50 hours. Only 50 hours. But 5 rated games between each video, and then hopefully, and then that and Go problems. Classy approach, 5 rated games per video, Go problems every single day. That's like 90% of what you need. Hopefully. That and lessons from Clausius. Like that is what you need. It's like 90% of why you're not improving is you're not getting lessons from Clausius. That's what I meant to say. That is completely what I meant to say. All right, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, found it educational, and hopefully I helped you improve your Go game just a little bit more today. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and raid another Go player, Waller Dog. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.